Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the end of 2020 stream. I mean, technically, there's still a few days left until we get to the end of 2020, but I'm considering this the end of the 2020 official stream. I'll probably do another stream tomorrow, depending on my brother's schedule tomorrow evening for Lord of the Rings Online. But um, during the last week of December, we're doing other things with friends, family, and some previous obligations that we have. So I probably won't be doing a lot of streaming until we get into 2021. So I wanted to just kind of come hang out for a bit, say hi to everybody, and talk a little bit about what a crazy year 2020 has been, and just winding it down. I think the most important thing for everybody to remember is that probably one of the best parts, I think anyway, one of the most positive notes to the end of 2020 is that the vaccine is on the way. I know people are split. We have people who don't want to get it. They think it was rushed, blah, 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 blah. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I'm, of course, of the opinion that I'm glad it's coming. I believe in science. I'm a big, firm supporter of science. I'm going to be getting the vaccine as soon as it's available, so will my wife. So for us, it was a very positive thing to see that the vaccine was coming. Actually, we live in Mexico City, and the first vaccines hit the ground here on December 23rd or 24th. I forget which day exactly it was. I know the first injections started on the 24th, on Christmas Eve. Healthcare professionals went first, and then they're doing it in order of people who are, obviously needing it, and then going from age groups, so oldest to youngest. My age group, because I am 40, then I'll be 41 in January. My age group will be in May, is when I'm up for the vaccine, and my wife is in June. And that's assuming they don't speed up the vaccination process, but we're looking forward to that. I just did a post on Patreon, which I need to link here in the video for everybody, for those who want. Let's go look at where that post went. Let me edit this real quick. We're on Patreon. So I also did an additional post over on Patreon talking about some of this stuff. It's been a crazy year. My wife and I have spent the entire year in lockdown. I chose to self-lockdown on March 1st of 2020, even though as a country, the country didn't really go into lockdown until towards, I want to say it was like the mid-March to the end of March was when, the country officially put everybody into lockdown, shut down all the gyms, shut down all the restaurants and everything else. And the reason that we went into lockdown in early March is because I have friends, current friends who I know, who are it's actually it's one of my past students. Her and her husband live in Milan, and then I have another individual I knew from another project who lives in Milan. So I had several people who were living in Milan, Italy, who still are living in Milan, Italy, who were going through the craziness that was, January and February, and seeing army trucks just full of cadavers because Milan, Italy, and the area around Milan, Italy was really, really bad. It was like the Wuhan district in China. I mean, it was really hard hit. There were thousands dying, and I saw that going on in January and February, and just said, you know what? I see the writing on the wall. We're going to go ahead and start self-isolating. And so March 1st, 2020, my wife and I decided to start self-isolating. And then by the end of that month, the government here in Mexico in Mexico City anyway, had closed down all of the parks, businesses, restaurants, everything else, theaters, things of that nature. Now, it's never gotten to mandatory mask use here. It is in Cancun, where we used to live. Cancun has had mandatory masks almost the entirety of the year, with fines and jail time if you don't wear masks. But here in the city, it's always just been it's mandatory to go into places, but out in public, you don't have to wear masks in public. But for the most part, like I said, we've been self-isolating, and knock on wood, tap tap tap. Um, my wife and I have not gotten sick this year, but it seems like everyone we know has had somebody in their family who has gotten sick from it. I don't think we've had any direct contacts who have gotten like ill enough to die from it. But we know everybody we know has had somebody in their family get sick with it. So it's been obviously a traumatic year for everybody. But looking forward to wrapping that up this year and getting back to normality, hopefully by the end of next year. What have we got here? I came here because when I logged in today, I got this cute little cozy Yule goat kid. So I got this little goat pet from my daily mithril box. That was from the gold mithril box. And I also got this thing the other day. I'm going to run in here and show you real quick. Oh, is it not loaded? Oh, there it goes. It took a minute for things to load. This cozy Yule fireplace. So I got a couple of cool little Yule festival things. Even though I didn't participate in the festival, I got a couple of cool little Yuletide items. I haven't finished decorating the house yet. Written there. This is obviously owned by my primary character, who is the hobbit that I play with my brother. I guess this could be considered my main character because I play him far more frequently than I play the hobbit. But, I mean, the hobbit I only play twice a week with my brother, and we skipped last week because of the holidays. We should be playing tomorrow night. But I play this character 3 or 4 times a week. Most days, actually, I play this character. I usually play him, like I said, about 4 days a week. I don't think I really played lotro at all during the Christmas week. I did play, and I wrapped up Cyberpunk 2077. I finished my first playthrough. I got about, it was a lot less than I thought I was going to get. I thought I was going to get like 120 hours. I think I got about half that. I got a little over 60 hours out of the first playthrough. Now, I did not do a completionist version. I also don't want to do a completionist version of that game. At least not yet. Way too many bugs still. I played it on the PS4, even with all the patches, especially during the last mission. I crashed 5 times in a 20-minute period. There was this section in the end of the game when you're going through the last mission, and you got to go into this room that just has a lot of bad guys and a lot of things going on, and the game just crashed 5 times in a row. I would go into the room and it would crash, and it did that 5 times in a row until I finally got through it. So it's not something that I'm going to be playing right away immediately again. I will say, excuse me, that if I had to give Cyberpunk 2077 a rating, I would rate it a 7 out of 10. Um, I thought the storylines were great. I thought the voice acting was great. Um, I thought that side missions actually had a lot more than the main mission per se. I felt that there was a lot more they could have done with the main mission, and I thought it was going in a certain direction, and it didn't go there. Um, which, okay, I hope it goes there in expansion packs because who knows what they're going to be doing with DLCs and expansion packs for that game. But I see Night City as being something they could expand easily with expansions over the next, 5, 6 years. If they did an expansion every year, they could easily expand Night City and expand V's adventure. I suppose that depends on what is the ending that you chose. But I will say that it was a good game. I enjoyed it. Got about 60, a little over 60 hours out of it my first playthrough, which is a huge difference from The Witcher 3, where I got around 120 hours out of my first playthrough of The Witcher 3. And then when I went and did my second playthrough, I did all the expansions and got like 200 hours of gameplay out of all of those. And I would easily play Witcher 3 all over again because there's still stuff that I haven't seen in that game. As opposed to Cyberpunk 2077, you know, it was fun. But I finished it on Christmas Day, actually, and immediately turned around and started a new playthrough with a female character that is a different starting path just to see what it was like. I do plan on streaming that game eventually, but I'm not going to be streaming it until they iron out all the blue screen crashes and stuff on the PS4 because it just doesn't. It's not worth it for me to stream when every time I try to stream I get blue screen crashes, and that was something that is a reason why I didn't give it more than like a 7 out of 10 rating because it was just too many bugs, too many crashes. This game, I am really close. Let's see, because I'm on book. I'm at the start of book 15. I haven't picked up the starter yet, which I think is Elrond. Yeah, so why don't we go ahead and make our way back to Elrond? We might start that this morning. Where am I bound? I'm actually bound in Rivendell. I will also say that I'm over 60 hours into Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I still have not completed that game. So I'm gonna get more enjoyment out of Assassin's Creed Valhalla than I got out of Cyberpunk 2077. When you look at the first playthroughs of both of those individual games. Oh, you know what I should do before anything is I should go do my daily crafting. So now that I'm finished with Cyberpunk 2077, I'm going to be going back to alternating between Lord of the Rings Online and Assassin's Creed Valhalla throughout the first of 2021. Also, the Epic Game Store had this really cool, like, free game a day over the holiday season. I've gotten some really good games every single day for free. One of those was Alien Isolation, I think it's called, which was like this really popular game in the Aliens franchise from a few years back that I never played because I don't really like horror games, but I've gotten like 20 or 30 free games from the Epic Game Store over the last few months, so I'll be probably tapping into those in the early part of next year. But for the meantime, what I'm going to be working on directly in early 2021 is I'm working on a new science fiction novel related. It's a brand new thing, brand new intellectual property that I'm working on. It's meant to be a standalone novel with room for a follow-up novel, and I'm hoping to have that draft wrapped up by the end of March. It might go quicker. It just kind of depends on other projects that I've got in the works for January and February. Patreon's got all the details, all the stuff for the way, and I'm going to be continuing to do the Lotro Cooking in Real Life series, which those videos go live on Mondays. So my wife and I are alternating because she does one video a week through her Patreon, and she's doing Mexican food because my wife is Mexican and we live in Mexico. So she's doing Mexican food on her Patreon, which if you want to check that out, I would highly recommend. It's called Christmas Kitchen. You can find all the links if you like go to my Facebook page and stuff like that. Also, we're bringing our Marginal Boundaries travel brand back for at least on a once a week part-time basis. We're going to be talking about life in Mexico, living in Mexico stuff. We can't do any traveling obviously until we get vaccinated, and we don't expect the travel industry will get open back up until late 2021. But as that goes back into play, we're probably going to be doing some new public speaking engagements, either late in 2021 or early 2022. We're currently in talks with a couple of places to go do some presentations on travel, social media, all the stuff we've worked on over the last decade. So expect to see that kind of stuff. So if you go over to the Marginal Boundaries YouTube and Facebook and stuff, you'll find all the links to all my wife's favorite projects and things we're doing there. So here, though, once a week, Lotro Cooking in Real Life series will be going live on YouTube, and recipes are over on Patreon. I got the new science fiction novel in the works, and I'll be playing Lord of the Rings Online and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Those are going to be the two primary games that you're going to see here on YouTube. And then as they fix Cyberpunk 2077, probably add that to the mix. And they've also patched Baldur's Gate 3, and I haven't played that in a few months. I played it when it first came out. I did one run through, and then I did half of a second run through before they announced a whole bunch of patches. So you know what? I'm just not going to play it for a few months. So I think that was August or September. Maybe it was no, it was September, I think. So October, November, December. They've had 3 months. They've patched a whole bunch of stuff in. So probably sometime in January, I'm going to be doing another. I probably won't do a full run through, but I'll probably log on and do a few sessions with a new character in Baldur's Gate 3 Early Access to see how that's coming along. I'll be streaming that here, and I have to finish up Pillars of Eternity 2. All that stuff will be coming here. So Patreon's gonna be the place where you want to stay tuned because I got a whole bunch of stuff that I'm gonna be doing through Patreon in this year, basically. I got a yet unannounced project that is going to be a Patreon exclusive, and of course, the Lord of the Rings Online Cooking in Real Life series is the one we're doing on Patreon as well as here on YouTube. So stick around for all that stuff. All right, let's get some crafting out of the way. And this is not going to be a full stream. I'm not going to sit here and do a multi-hour stream today like I usually do. This is just a quick, I think we're 18 minutes in, something like that. Probably do 30 minutes or so this morning. Just wanted to say hi to everybody on this Sunday afternoon at 10:45 in the morning, Sunday morning, and just tell everybody that I wish them a happy holidays as we end the holiday season for 2020 and get rid of this crappy year and move into next year. All right, I need some 3 U-boards, 4 U-boards, and 3 solid U-boards. I think I'm getting close to the next tier of reputation. Oh yeah, I should get that today. Alright, now I need 3 of these. Alright, that's that tier. Artisan tier. What do I need here? Well, I need to buy some more lumps of wax.
How may I be of service to you?
Sell me some wax, good man. Let's buy another 25. Okie dokie. I need to go buy the bulk recipe. I want to say I got that on the skirmish vendor. Let's go check. Question is, I don't remember which vendor. It's gotta be the crafting vendor.
Is there aught which you need?
No, I need... It's gonna be forest or wood. Already known. Alright. Spend a bunch of points. I haven't even gotten to Ilex wood yet, but it'll be good to have that on hand. Alright, let's go back to the crafting station. batch. Bethron boards. And I need 3 solids. Thanks, MZ. You too. Alright, those are done. Let's go make these 2. And the hobbits, what level are our hobbits right now? They are 36 and 33, so... I know I've already got the level 40 weapons made for my brother's hobbit, so... If I unlock the next tier today, which I think I will... Okay, goodness gracious. I don't know that I have enough black ash to make everything that I need. Let's just make them all. I don't have enough to do the bulk, so... I need 6, 7, 8, 9 solid boards. See if I get lucky with a couple crits here. I did not, but I got enough to do the medium and the small, and then we'll see if I have enough to do the master. One more thin. Alright, let's see if that's enough to get me through the next tier. Yep. Alright, which means I'm going back to Esseldine. Since I just hit the new tier with the guild. Grab those recipes.
What can I do for you?
Take me to Esseldine, good sir. Doggone it, I clicked the wrong button. That is a good way to view things, MZ. Health and family. As long as you've got those two things, you can rebuild anything. Okie dokie. Then I get to scope what cool stuff I can make for level 50 for the hobbits. Woodworkers Guild, please. Alright, which one of these? I don't think it's this one, because this is the carving recipes, but I might as well pick up the ones I don't have. Which is going to be tier 6. Yep. Which that's going to be the Ilex wood. Yep, which I don't have yet, so. Gilliator. Improved recipes, please. Tier 5. This is all the black ash stuff. Which shall be good. Now I can make more fun stuff for the hobbits for level 50. Of course, it's a hideous graphic. Alright, spear. That's level 53, but you can use it at level 50. Yeah, so I'll be making that for my brother's warden. Deflection? No, it'll definitely be the combat. And I think the ornate black javelin. Do I get another one of speed? Yes, that's the one that's really cool. Minus 10% on all induction skills. Excuse me. Which is pretty epic. And I have plenty of barrel shards. So, and those require a large master cross. Okay, so I'm not gonna want to use those just yet. It's a good thing I didn't make it and use it for my faction yet. I got plenty of time to make those two for the hobbits, so important thing was that I got this ding today, so yay, next tier of the Woodworker Guild. Alright, I suppose we could ride back to Rivendell. Like I said, we're not going to do a multi-hour stream today, so I'll probably wrap it up once I get back to Rivendell. Just wanted to hop on here Sunday and tell everybody that let's kick 2020 in its ass on its way out the door. Don't let the door hit you on the way out, because that's the kind of year 2020's been for everybody. If you want to, feel free to hop in, check out the link in the description below. I got a blog post over at my Patreon talking about the end of the year, also talking about some of the projects that I'm going to be working on in 2021, at least the projects that I'm willing to talk about publicly for the moment. Got some stuff that's going to be coming mid-2021 that's going to be exclusive to Patreon. We're not going to be sharing it on YouTube or any of my social media channels. It'll be there only. And of course, my wife and I are bringing back our Marginal Boundaries travel brand on a part-time hobby basis for the first half of the year. And then once we get vaccinated and travel opens up again, we may start traveling again. We're in some talks already to do some speaking engagements at the end of next year, so maybe we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see what next year brings about for everybody. Like I said, hopefully everybody had a good holiday season to 2020. I know everybody's been affected in some way or another by COVID. But hopefully we can put that all behind us and continue to have a final few days that are nice for the rest of this year. Thanks, Simsy. I appreciate it. For the rest of you tuning in later on for this post, don't forget just to wind down the things that are going to be continuing here on YouTube in 2021 for the immediate future. I've got the Lord of the Rings Online Cooking in Real Life series, which happens. Yeah. I didn't do a post this week, MZ, because it was the holidays. I didn't feel like doing a post for tomorrow, so tomorrow would technically be. I did do one this past Monday, which was the complete Hobbit breakfast. We've already got several recipes coming in the pipeline for January, which is going to be. I know we've got. I'm going to open up the journal right now, and we'll talk about this as we wind down the stream. Let me switch over to the Hobbit because I can tell you which ones that I've got in the works. So we've got the Lord of the Rings Online Cooking in Real Life series. Those episodes go live on YouTube on Mondays at 8 a.m. Central. Full recipes are over on the Patreon page. Let's see here. Getting onto my Hobbit so that I can check the cooking recipes. Dun, dun, dun. That's going to be a big thing. So YouTube-wise, we've got the lotro Cooking in Real Life series. We're continuing the adventures in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Those videos go live like twice a week. I haven't been streaming Assassin's Creed Valhalla in about a month, but I've still got videos that I recorded, Leo, like a month ago, that are still coming out. I think there's 2 or 3 more episodes that are still due to come out. If not, I know I've got like 4 or 5 more episodes that I've got saved that I need to just schedule into the system. Those are 2 times a week. The Hobbits, my brother and I stream The Hobbits on Mondays and Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Central here on YouTube. I just finished my first playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077, but I didn't stream that. I think I streamed the first few episodes, but because the PS4 version is so buggy, I'm going to be holding off on that. I've also got a whole bunch of games that I've gotten from the Epic Game Store that I've gotten for free. I'm going to be probably doing some of those. I'm definitely going to be continuing the Pillars of Eternity 2 streams. I'll be doing those in January at some point. So in between Lord of the Rings Online, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the Lord of the Rings Online cooking series, and Pillars of Eternity 2, that's the kind of stuff you're going to be seeing on YouTube. And then on Patreon, we've got the full recipes once a week, and I'm going to be doing some blogging there pretty regularly in 2021. And I've got a yet unnamed and unpublicized secret project that I've been working on, which is going to be coming around I'm not going to say exactly when, but sometime around mid 2021 that'll be launched, and that's going to be a Patreon exclusive. I can't say anything more about it yet, but you want to stay tuned for that. And of course, if you want travel content, you can hop over and watch the stuff that my wife and I are going to be putting together over at Marginal Boundaries, which is our old brand that we retired a few years ago. We still have, when we were in Ireland at the end of 2017 on that contract, we did a 30-day road trip, and I've got more than 12,000 photos and dozens of hours of uncut raw video footage and drone footage that I've never done anything with. So I'm going to be starting to piece that together over the course of January, February, etc. into the new year. So if you want to check out all that stuff, all the links to all of our other projects are on my Patreon. Like you can find links to our Marginal Boundaries brand. I think there's a link there, things of that nature. So for those of you who are following along here on YouTube, I would urge you to check out the Patreon because that's got links to all the other things that my wife and I are working on. She's also got her Patreon, which is related to her Mexican cooking videos and cooking tutorials, and then she's got her own travel brand in Spanish, which is something that she's always had as kind of a hobby. And then she's going to be working on that more in 2020. And we're going to be doing lots of life in Mexico videos over on Marginal Boundaries too. So hopefully in between the things that I do here with this YouTube and this Patreon for the gaming related content, the science fiction and fantasy stuff that I do as a writer. You can follow along here, or if you want to follow along with our travel-based content, you can follow us over at Marginal Boundaries, my wife's page, Via High School Christina, and her Patreon, Christmas Kitchen, which is in English, but it's all Mexican-based dishes since she's Mexican and we live here in Mexico. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hopefully you have a good end of the year and just do a cleanse. Just get 2020 out of your system and let's all move into 2021 and kick 2020 out the door. Just put it behind us. Yeah, and if you want to put on weight, that Hobbit breakfast I did last week, I don't ever make breakfasts that big. My wife and I actually split that plate after I finished filming the video. I don't eat like that. I could eat like that, and I used to eat like that, but no, I don't. I try not to eat like that anymore, MZ. Once I hit 40, my doctor was like, "You need to start watching your cholesterol," and I went, "Okay." So yeah, those kind of breakfasts are behind me, but it's nice to cook once in a while, and you can split them with my wife. It's not so bad. So, all right, thanks everybody. We will catch you in the flip side. I think we're gonna be streaming tomorrow night. It depends on my brother's schedule. I don't know. Like I said, we usually stream around 8 p.m. Central, assuming he's available. We're gonna be streaming tomorrow night. Otherwise, stick around because we've got videos scheduled coming out. The Telemar, the Lore Master Adventure Series, those come out Tuesdays and Saturdays, twice a week. So at the very least, subscribe to the channel for those. Um, I've got everything filmed up to. I mean, we're literally at book 15 now. We have to start book 15, and then we're done with the Shadows of Angmar, and Telemar the Lore Master is ready to get into the Moria content. And real quick before I go, because I logged into this guy to show the recipes that I was going to be doing. I know the ones I've already got scheduled for 2021. I gotta find it here because I know it's like, yeah, we're gonna do the Hobbiton omelet for sure, and we're gonna do an apple pie for sure, and we're gonna do a stew of kings for sure. I think those are the three that I've got planned for um, January, and I know there's been another request on Twitter for the complete Honorian breakfast. So that one's going to be coming down the pipeline sometime probably in February. And then I've got other things in here that I've been kind of taking notes on the recipes that I want to cook from the game. So stay tuned, everybody.